This is Tracy again. I'm with Jeremy Brown with Throne Publishing Group, and we're talking about the cycle of fullness. And be sure to watch the first episodes, especially the very first one, where we kind of talk about the whole fullness, the whole cycle, because now we're breaking it down in these separate episodes into each portion of that, and Jeremy's explaining more about that. He developed this concept to help draw the story out of writers. And you know, we all have a story. We've all gone through really hard things. I don't think you can go through this life without going through some really hard things.
That's right.
But it's part of how God uses it to teach us to draw closer to Him, isn't it? So
That's right.
this is part of our story. And today we're going to be talking about street skills. So what does that mean, Jeremy?
So we talked about, we have this loss, we take an act of courage, we step out, we start to acquire things. First one was street lessons, then street skills. So street lessons are wisdom I learned along the way. Street skills are, in all of that, as I was going through that, I learned how to do some things, some real skills that I can now help you move the needle in your life. I'm not just here offering you this wisdom and this knowledge. I can help you produce results that you couldn't produce by yourself had I not come into the picture.
Okay.
Those are street skills. And we all learn these. Again, just like there's things that you know, there's things that you can do that you think are normal and natural, and everybody can do them, but not everybody can do them. And we've got to pause and really dig to find those, because we all have these niche little things that we do. And here's the example, Chris. Like if me and you were thrown into the jungle, we'd either die or become survival experts, because we naturally start to evolve and adapt and grow skills, right? Like I think of Rick, he's like the man's man. He can make a house out of like logs and stuff, right? Me, I can't even barely change a light bulb. But if I was thrown into the jungle, I would have a spear fashioned within 15 minutes.
Right.
Or I'd be lion's lunch.
Yeah.
Right. And we're doing that here. And we learn how to do these things that are so niche to us because they're niche to our personality, they're niche to our time, and they just come out of us. And we got to pay attention to those. This is where you can add layers of services to your knowledge that you acquired, and you can teach people through your books and your content. Here's how to do some things, not just the intrinsic or internal stuff. Here's how you actually can produce results by following this kind of a process.
Okay, so you help outline that, like as you're helping going through this cycle fullness process.
And it'll become really self-evident too for people.
Can you give me another example?
So a street skill. Well, I would say this cycle of fullness was my street skill.
Okay.
When I started my first publishing business, it was 2007. Great time to start a business, right? And yeah, right. And I just started to, the more and more I did of these, it made my brain think. I started to see patterns, and 10 years deep into this, I look back and realized, hey, there's this really specific way of how I outline books. And this is how this was born. Let me think of a woman who she was always drawn to this one piece of scripture. And she realized, going through this, I've used this so many times, and I have a really specific way that I apply this scripture to my life and to women's lives. And it was a normal scripture, but she understood it differently, and she applied it differently. And there was a process to how she applied it into her life.
Yeah.
And she just naturally did it, because she was like, to make it through this time, I had to do this.
Yeah.
And she was just surviving.
And she can teach that to somebody else in a way that they've never understood it.
And exactly right. So now she's passing that on.
That's the living word, isn't it?
That's the truth.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
And it's special. Like you guys have some skills.
Yeah.
I always, when I'm talking about you and Rick, I'm saying they're spiritually skilled people. They know how to do things. They can not just make you feel good and stuff. That's there. But you guys can produce results.
Yeah.
Like it's just, there's something to that.
We can navigate.
You can navigate.
Yes.
And not everybody can do that.
But we can help and encourage others that they can do it too.
And you help and you encourage and you help make things happen.
That's good.
Things happen when people are around you.
Oh, that's great.
So, street skills.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Jeremy. Okay. Well, that's been wonderful. So stay tuned for the next episode. We've got one more.